The plan is kind of changing, so we're just gonna take you with us.
Am I being kidnapped?
No.
Can I leave?
No.
Why'd you make that? Yeah, I know why you made it. Put it away. I don't care what the bard paid you. Put it the fuck away.
It doesn't matter, because I have a double secret super password that unlocks the parental lock.
You mean Alfred de Butler with 2 T's?
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me wanna dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it.
This appeared as a moral dilemma, cause at first it was weird, though I swore to eliminate the worst of the plague that devoured humanity. It's true, I was vague on the how, so how can it be that you...
It's supposed to be a fucking RPG! What role am I playing? The fucking victim?
Here's a good example of a good perception versus a bad investigation check.
Why would there be fence posts but no fence?
I'm going to assume that's what drinking a health potion using only a bonus action looks like.
Here's a D&D monster for you all. It's called a finger mimic. This tiny CR 1/4 cousin of mimic disguises itself as a finger instead of an inanimate object, in order to hang on to a creature as a parasite and suck its blood over time. It can change its size, skin texture, and color, and even mimic things like rings and tattoos to better blend into the host's hand. A finger mimic can read the signals that the brain is sending to its host's hand, allowing it to act in tandem with the real fingers. While it's holding still or moving with the other digits, it's indistinguishable from a normal finger. Its bite attack only deals 1 piercing damage, but if it hits, it is now attached to you, and you have to make a DC 12 wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, you're charmed by the finger mimic for 24 hours and believe that it's one of your own fingers that you've always had. This conviction is magical in nature and can't be broken with reason or persuasion. You'll be unwilling to let anyone remove it because, as far as you're concerned, that's your finger they're trying to pull off. While you're charmed by it and protecting it, the finger mimic can use your AC in place of its own. A creature can remove the finger mimic with a DC 12 strength check with disadvantage if the host is unwilling. Although finger mimics are parasites, some wizards and warlocks keep them as familiars, using them to improve their manual dexterity, spy on their enemies, or replace a finger they were already missing. However, they need to be careful around spawning season. When it's time for a finger mimic to reproduce, it gets very hungry and will take a chunk of its host with it when it runs off to lay its eggs. It's common for someone to start with 10 fingers, upgrade to 11 when the mimic shows up, and then ultimately end up with 9. Here's the stat block. I've uploaded the whole thing to my Google Drive.
A few years ago, a Tumblr mutual of mine proposed an idea for a D&D monster, and I'd love to share it with you all because not a week goes by that I don't think about it. So here's the original post. D&D monster concept, non-Newtonian slimes. Hitting them harder does less damage. Their AC is 13, you have to roll below that to hit it, especially effective against high-level players. Something about non-Newtonian D&D monster has lived with me for years. This post is from like 2017. Don't worry about it, somebody did make a stat block for a monster called an Oozebleck. An Oozebleck? You'll note AC 13, non-Newtonian, which means you have to hit below it. Anyway, I think about this monster concept so often. I don't think I'll ever be brave enough to use it, but I wanted to introduce it to all of you in case you're not a coward.
Okay. Alright, yeah. I mean, if you really want to do that, it'll take some work, but here's how you get there. Good God, this is terrifying. So first step, you gotta find a mimic. That's easy enough. Second step, you have to capture said mimic without killing it. Then you take it back to your keep, and you gotta get it to make babies. Let's just assume, for simplicity, that mimics reproduce through, like, budding or something. Then you gotta take those baby mimics away from the parent mimic as soon as possible. Feed them very consistently, try to earn their trust. Once you've earned their trust, you can start to train them to assume the shape of an arrowhead and teach them how to, like, chill in a quiver. You're gonna have to feed them a lot. What's terrifying, though, is the adhesive that they have in object form. So as soon as it hits, it's gonna be grappled by the baby mimic, who's then gonna eat it. Your daughter's terrifying.
So here's a fun homebrew you can include in your games. Imagine, if you will, your players are traveling through a dungeon, they're traveling through an area. They go, and they step on a trap. They didn't see it. Instead of going, alright, I need you, and you to roll me dexterity saving throws, or whatever you might say. Instead you go, click! As you may have guessed, this is called the click rule. When your players step on a trap, instead of telling them to roll a saving throw or what have you, you instead just say click. At that moment, every player is encouraged to do something. One player might dive to the floor. One player might grab another one and roll to the side. One might get down on their knees and put their shield up. Whatever the players may do in that moment affects how the trap affects them. It might mean they actually avoid the trap altogether. It might give them advantage for putting their shield up. Or the guy that dived instantly fails because he dived right into the pit trap. Possibilities are endless.
Hey guys, Rachel from the Level Up Dice team here. First of all, thank you all so much for the support you have shown the gaming attaché. We are so incredibly excited to be sharing this product with you. This comment prompted us to show you guys what this bad boy looks like filled out. So I'm just giving you guys another little demonstration with my favorite dice set. Give it a little shake. We're gonna go ahead and pull that tower out so I can show you guys some of the character shards filled out with my Air Genasi stats. Hello, meow meow. So as you guys can see, you can just fill these in with dry erase. They clean off really, really easily. And the inner keep is going to detach from the parapet. And right now I have some DM stats currently behind the acrylic sheets. And you can easily replace these with character sheets, which we will have available for your use. We're really excited, and thank you all.